Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. It's a brand new year and if you're anything like me, you've completely overdone it with food and drink over the Christmas break. Speaking of drink, if you want to see some of my recent recipes, click the card above.
That's your Irish wine version. Your MBK. Christmas wine parties. Espresso martini. With wine. For that New Year's starter.
The recipe for today is for a super easy homemade bread. It is low carb, gluten free and guilt-free, and it only uses 5 ingredients, so absolutely anybody can make this. The ingredients you're going to need are 170 grams of almond flour, 6 eggs, 55 grams of butter, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, and I also have some pink Himalayan salt for seasoning. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 180 degrees. I'm gonna take my almond flour. You can see it likes to kind of form lumps, so I'm gonna blitz it quickly in my food processor just to get it as fine as possible, because this will mean that my bread will rise nicely. And just pulse. Next, I'm gonna melt my butter. I'm gonna cut it into smaller chunks and just heat it up for 5 to 10 second intervals in the microwave. It melts very quickly and you don't want butter splashing all over your microwave. Next, I'm going to separate my 6 eggs. I want to make sure that I don't get any of the yolk into the egg whites, because we're about to whip them up and they won't fluff up nicely if we get some egg yolk in there. I like to do it just by sifting it back and forth in the eggshell. But also I like to do it over a small bowl, just in case I have any accidents. I don't ruin the whole batch, I only ruin the one egg. My eggs are now separated. I've got the yolks here and the whites in a different bowl. Next, I'm just gonna whip my whites up until they become soft peaks. Don't over whip them. This always happens to me. If you get too stiff peaks, it would be very difficult for you to actually blend everything in together at the end. So I'm gonna show you what it's supposed to look like now. Now that my egg whites are done, I'm gonna mix in my food processor the almond flour with the egg yolks. I am going to add my baking powder, my now room temperature melted butter, and just a pinch of the Himalayan salt. As you can see, my almond flour and my egg yolks have come together now. I'm now going to mix in about 1/3 of the egg white mixture to help this to loosen up a little bit, and then we're going to fold in by hand the remainder of the egg whites so that we don't lose that much of the air that's going to give us the lift once we bake the bread. Okay, and now I'm gonna mix everything together, but very carefully fold in the egg whites. Again, what we're trying to do is not lose all of the air that we just whipped into our egg whites, which is what's going to give us the rise in the oven. Remember that when you're folding in, just make sure you scrape from the bottom to make sure that there's no lumps of almond flour or anything like that. And it sometimes helps to actually rotate the bowl to kind of help you make smooth movements so that, again, you're not knocking all the air out of your mixture. Next, I'm gonna prep my pan. This is about 20 centimeters by 10 centimeters. I'm just gonna butter the side so that it doesn't stick in the oven, and then we'll be ready to bake. My dough is all nice and buttered now. Normally, if I was making a normal bread, I would probably sprinkle some flour and toss it around here to prevent stickiness. But since this is a low carb option, I'm gonna skip that step. I'm gonna pour in my batter and pop it into the oven. My mixture is actually runny enough that I don't have to scrape the top to level it off or anything like that. But whatever you do, don't bounce it to try and get it leveled. You'll just be knocking all of the air out and you'll end up with a pancake. My bread is now ready. I'm gonna test it with the cake tester to see that it's done. And it comes out totally clean, which means that it's done. We're now gonna let it cool for about 20 minutes and then we'll take it out of the tin. My bread is now cool enough, I'm gonna turn it out. But you can see it has quite a bit of sponginess to it and it smells great. I'm gonna cut a slice or two for you to show you how it looks inside. You can see inside it very much resembles your standard bread. You can see there's got some nice air pockets in there and it is actually quite spongy and bouncy, so it would be delicious. I'm gonna try this for you guys. Take some butter. Cheers. It's really, really good. It has a great texture. It goes really well with the butter, and it toasts extremely well. In fact, my favorite way to have it is probably toasted. I would store this probably once it's cooled down completely in a Ziploc bag and put it in the fridge. And it probably, because it has eggs in it, you can probably store it for 4 to 5 days. But I don't think it would last that long in your house. That's it for today's video. I really hope you tried this recipe because really I think it's one of the best low carb breads that I've ever tried. If you got it this far in the video, comment down below saying new year, new me. With that, I leave you for this week. Please share, like and subscribe. It really, really helps out the channel. We're trying really hard to make it grow and bring you great recipes. We've got loads of amazing stuff planned for the coming weeks. With that, I leave you and enjoy. The recipe for today is a stop. Okay. So today I was gonna bring you today I want to bring you a bit of a different recipe. Something that actually might help you the ingredients are the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Why can't I say it? Next, I'm gonna melt my butter. I'm actually